Sorry, I'll start my stopwatch as I've got to get back all of my stars. I think on the defensive side, it has aspects that can work, like the fact that you can still activate utility as a sentinel, but again, in a retake, you either then have to have those stars still remaining. If DRX does well to bait them out, you basically just become, well, useless. You just have to run in as cannon fodder towards the end of the round. So I think it can be played. I think it can work, but it's a niche that needs to be fulfilled by Sugar Zero. Whereas on the other side, well, I think this is a composition that we love to see from DRX, especially stacks on a breach. I see that, and I'm already excited for the game.
Yeah, and you see DRX, they're picking up the pace massively, looking in towards this A site. They've used their utility to clear it out, but ZETA have played retake, having pushed up through C long with 2 players and had that early flank started. They're happy enough to play back into this site later on, so that's going to leave DRX in a little bit of an awkward position, but they know that the flank is coming through thanks to that turret.
Already. You can see them attempting to try and clear some of the angles with the Tiger. Well, at least spot out a couple of different positions, but time is already ticking. They are managing to at least isolate Marco, so that's 1 player down already. But again, a lot of time has already gone, and the Flash is trying to clear out this position, not really doing their job. Again, a trade going to come back. Laz in the favor, and he's found another couple. In fact, they're trying to stick this defuse, and Laz is doing everything. A third for him, just 1 man standing. It's already hard, so he still has a chance, and he should be able to get this defuse comfortably in the end. It will be the round going the way of ZETA, and well, this man has kicked off with a bang.
That's what you want to see for Laz. Hell, you know, last map he's coming in on a duelist. That's certainly where you could make it work. But 4 kills off the bat. I don't care what agent you're on. 1-0, but ZETA, at least in the morale lead. Remember, this is their opponent's map pick. Their defensive side was very poor on Icebox. And I'm not going to say that's because of Icebox. It was because of how DRX navigated their attack. It was because they controlled them so well. And to see them pick up the pistol here, well, it at least gives us a little bit of faith. But yeah, DRX, you know, they dominated map 1. And what do we say about confident teams when you lose the pistol? Hey, take that force buy.
Oh, wow, they just instantly denied that space. They're just like, no, you can't have short. We're going to aftershock it straight away. Force back those aggressive positions and already dashing their way into the site. They managed to get an awful lot of control here. In fact, they've just dominated these early battles. The swing through from Crow's just on his own. The rest of his teammates already dead, and well, who was it who won the pistol? I've forgotten.
Yeah, it was ZETA, wasn't it? This is a little bit shaky. Oh god, they're not gonna kill
But
yet.
Laz is now gonna get 5 kills after getting 4 in the last round.
Yeah, well, the turret's gonna see him coming, and now we look towards Mako, the player who was dominating on the previous map. And, you know, Kukuka brought it up in the pre-show that Mako's been feeling a lot more free. That's what we heard from Stax, and she theorized that's going to be fantastic if you move away from that Astra. You move towards that Omen, you can get a lot done. And well, they certainly have gotten a lot done here.
Prime Gaming Flawless, Mitch.
Prime Gaming Flawless to follow up a pistol round loss. Well, the concern that we had for ZETA's defense, I think, has been sufficiently underlined there.
But this is one of the similar issues that I think we saw last time, is that like Laz was someone that I think you could easily highlight going into every game. Like, even though they won 1 map and they lost 4, I think he had the 7th highest like ACS of the entire tournament back at Masters Berlin. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Like,
yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That doesn't really add up. And it's similar going into this series in general, is that you have 2 Sentinel players who actually come up with like 240, 250 ACS across the board. That's rare. The fact is, though, you need to see some of the other players step up. Like, this man has clearly proven that the land setting doesn't affect him. So far, the rest of the team have been incredibly quiet, even in the last map.
That's the reality that I think ZETA are realizing all too quickly. You know, moving into this round, they take the eco. It's not one that we expect to see anything from them, but I do like the setup that they've got. You know, with Crow holding a flash, ready to pop it, allowing Depp to swing around with a shorty and maybe kill 1 or 2 players. Right, but this all relies on DRX walking into these kind of setups. And we've seen time and time again, they've been very cautious versus anti-ecos. On Icebox, they were playing super slow. But what that means is eventually you have to gamble. Oh, but ZETA have moved first. And they've been spotted.
I don't necessarily mind the idea if he didn't have shorty.
Yeah, that's... Laz was with him.
I guess maybe they expected them to be a little bit further down, but then you're almost... Okay, I didn't expect them to even get a kill, but you're almost gambling on DRX being overly like aggressive, and that's very unlikely. 2 kills in this round, though, probably from the 2 players they didn't expect to, considering the setup that they had, but it's a little bit of extra damage. The issue, though, the amount of weaponry that was picked up over the last couple of rounds, DRX's bank is popping.
RB's got a Blade Storm, and also the weapons that they lost, it was just the 2 Spectres, because they came out with a Phantom, or maybe it was the Vandal, but a rifle anyways, and 2 Bulldogs. So walking out of a round where you've already had your prime gaming flaw, look at it this way. DRX lost the pistol round. They're now 2-1 with a full buy at pretty much no cost, as if RB wanted to run the Blade Storm, but he doesn't, he's going to keep it in back pocket. And then they have Rolling Thunder to help them initiate even further. And they've spotted Depp in the corner. He's got to burn his dash to get out of there.
Yeah, it's needed. You just see him, 2 shot darts already thrown into that corner before he even moved. But straight away, the ultimate stand up will give them the space. This is a rinse and repeat A-site execution again and again, and it is so clean in the manner in which they do it. There is not a spot that goes unchecked when DRX enter a site, and now, well, with a lockdown in hand, they're going to try the retake.
Yeah, they're going to try, but there you go. That's the problem with running this. The lockdown's just not going to get you the space it used to, and Buzz is tearing them to shreds. 3 quick kills for this guy. And Laz and Kroll, well, they're thinking about going somewhere else. I mean, this round is not theirs. They're not getting back into that site. 3-1 is what we're looking at. And then I almost ask myself, you look at ZETA, what are they going to do for the next round? I think Depp might have his Blade Storm online. Not 100% sure on that. But short of that, they're going to have to play another very low buy on most of the players.
And the worry as well is that, again, hate to bring it up, Depp has done very little so much in this match. Like his Blade Storm didn't really have any impact in the last one. Like, there was a round or 2 where he was sort of like making a bit of space, but in a round like that, it's not what you need. You need someone to almost pop off.
What's quite good is, we talked about Buzz and we were hyped to see him on map 1 when he's playing the Korean Jet, and then he comes in on a Killjoy.
This is nuts. They're all falling through the air.
We didn't even get to see that in the moment. That's just ridiculous, because it's not like our observers to miss moments like that. But how can you predict a triple waterfall and he gets all 3 on the
man
way?
Is still in aim labs, basically.
That's insane.
He's got the dots moving through.
That's the aim lab shoot around, isn't it?
It's almost too easy, but
jeez.
Yeah. Now again, we're gonna get ourselves. Oh no, it's not online. The Blade Storm a couple of ways. So they'll have to try and fight for the orbs, and actually we're gonna see the lockdown put into play.
That's interesting because you can't really counter that where it is with the breach, but I mean breach wasn't.
Are they
here
just
anyway,
trying to force them into the back of the site? Is that the only goal? They haven't
pistols.
cleared the corner. They have not cleared the corner. There's still a player sitting there, and that's going to be Depp who's found a rifle. I am not sure this was meant to be the way that they got into this site, but this is the thing. Like, they left something completely unchecked. That was a mistake from DRX, and they still win the round, only losing 2 players. Like, yeah.
In fairness,
that was not a good execute.
This is the thing, right? Sheer chaos. You've got a lockdown to push them backside. They don't clear the close corners. Smoke's absolutely everywhere. If anything, that almost works into your opponent's favor when they have those 3 very weak weapons to play with. They can group up and play those duels together behind the smokes, but it really caught up in the anarchy of the situation. They couldn't react in time and take advantage of those small gaps that DRX left. So we go 4-1 again, and the pace of DRX, the pace setting, the conditioning that's coming through that Bala highlighted we would see, and we certainly have. This is why I was worried when I saw that ZETA were starting on the defensive side every map, because it's just, I really wanted to see them be able to dictate the pace, and instead, well,
Spike planted.
So they're not able to do much.
Yeah, they've still left players lurking behind as well. They have their flank firmly watched, and they've got to try and get into position here. Now, you've already seen that they managed to at least tap the spike, because Est gets a freebie, but it's only a trade on what has already come through as the remaining players look to make their way back in towards this site. But they are just playing with that afterplant utility, just consistently throwing it in. They even have lineups all the way back towards the spawn, just to make sure that they can't tap it. And he's activating it as they fall, so that players take damage. It's just filthy, but the trades are coming back through. Monster, what? Oh my god, there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do.
Korean Jet? What is this guy? He's got lineups for nano swarms. He's spraying them down.
Korean Killjoy.
Killjoy.
It sounds so much better.
It works, and that's what it is, man. How all 3 in that, the damage, the assists on the others, the time bought, 5-1. ZETA have got to be kicking themselves. I'll tell you what, if there's not a pause right now, I don't even know what's going on in their minds. Well, they've got pistols. Maybe they do it coming into next. That's a Judge. That's a Bucky. What are we doing, Sugar Zero? Make your mind up. Okay, it's gone for the Stinger.
He settled on my least favorite.
Yeah, he could have RNG'd anything else, and I'd be behind it. Let's see if he can make it work.
Look at the initial setup at the moment from ZETA, though. They have 4 players on A because of that conditioning, because of what we've seen earlier in the map of just this hit A, again and again and again. So you're like, okay, we have to risk it. Where are we going to go? A. Well, at the moment, at least, it's just a default hold, and even leaning on the other side of the map, which, if you've noted, is clear.
And it's actually getting even more clear because Crow was around this area. He was sort of playing around the seaside, checking it every so often. He's now pulled back to a full retake, playing all the way back in the spawn. They've got a turret covering the B mid push.
But going back, though.
Yeah, ZETA was still heavy. They were still heavy gambling on the A play. I'm starting to see Sugar Zero move out, but he's come back into play. Okay,
info.
This is good. They know exactly what's going down. ZETA just need to follow up with the frags, but that's where the problems are with these weapons.
Oh, okay. All right. Decent start for RB. They've actually got aggressive themselves, swinging back off of the utility used. And, well,
that wasn't pleasant.
Again, like, you've used a Rolling Thunder, you've got the perfect stack, and you get 2 kills. Like, this is the thing, at this point, I don't even think ZETA have had bad reads. Like, they haven't had much to read because it's basically just been, they've been going A every single round other than the one time they were B. But if you stack a site and use an ult and get absolutely nothing for it, that starts to scare me quite a bit.
I do think the ult, it's a little bit of a knee-jerk once those players start to come through, but they opened it up with the first kill. At that point, I think it was definitely the right call, but to not be able to convert on those players trapped down on short, that's where the problem really lies. Now, we're obviously seeing a pause come through, which makes me a little bit happy. This is a buy round out of ZETA. And although it might be technical, well, listen, they can still have a little.
Mitch really enjoys these.
Love a good tech pause, me. You know that, Tom. But look, for ZETA at the moment, they can definitely use a breather. It's 6-1. They are being smothered. And the worst part is when they go towards the site, when they try to take that control or try to play the retakes, they're just being rolled. And if you try to adapt to early round, taking control and pushing up like they did in the pistol, DRX are waiting for it. This is a DRX that are just one step ahead. Maybe more.
Keyboard issue. So it's going to be fixed. Something that will be, hopefully,
plug it in.
Not too late. Yeah, again, you want. They're all ballers. I'm sure they've got loads.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the guy on the desk.
You'd be surprised, man. The amount of players that travel to LAN events without backup, like mice and keyboards, it's crazy. Especially when they're sponsored by those people. You can just get those keyboards, you know? Because I remember...
Do you know what would be even more mad? Like, if you were traveling to quarantine in a hotel and you didn't bring the right cables for, like, your microphone, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be...
You'd have to be a moron to do that. Or, like, didn't have the right converter so that you needed an Ethernet cable.
No,
didn't do that either.
Happen. That would never happen to me. I wouldn't have to play ranked on 20% packet loss. Don't worry about it. I don't know what you're talking about, Tom.
Everyone loves a Wi-Fi ranked.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My teammates are loving me, man. When I went 3-16 on Brimmy, woo! I got a lot of assists, though. 11. It's not that many, actually, when you only get 3 kills.
No, it's really not. But, hey, things happen. I will say that in terms of DRX, this is an incredibly good sign. I think as well the fact that watching someone like Buzz, for me, when you see someone switch over, like, for example, when it's jet to chamber, I'm just like, nah, you just put down your little traps. You have your, basically, you're the same thing as a dash, but you just rendezvous out instead. I don't feel like you have to adapt massively as a player. When you see someone play Killjoy, you can play it like Yumpy did, where it's like, I'm going to operator and then run away and pop my nano swarms. It's like, I don't feel like you're really playing the agent. Watching Buzz have, like, dirty little lineups that he pops at individual times to buy time and make sure that it's not just the classic, I've thrown them on the spike, they'll never expect these, and then just walking away. It's that he has this planned, and it's a whole thing from DRX that they are ready for every single scenario. That makes him terrifying. And the fact that, obviously, his aim is nuts.
Exactly. You know, I look at ZETA right now, and they're really giving me vibes of the Brazilians this time last year. You know, we saw them come over to, well, Iceland, right? And they played old comps. They tried to run what they did, you know, months before, what they were running regionally and not adapt to the meta. And I remember the Vikings coach coming on and saying, after like 2 days of scrims, they were like, oh, damn, like, our comp doesn't work, but we don't have time to change it. So you've got to make a choice, and there's no easy choice there. Do the right thing the wrong way, or do the wrong thing the right way. It's like, you know, you're losing either way, which is exactly what happened. And coming in with an Astra here for me, that's a sign that ZETA, they're not with the times.
Well, I like the fact as well that if you look at the pace that DRX have been taking sites, they're ready for them to be using a gravity well or something like. They're basically just going, oh, you've got something to slow us down. We're already in.
Yeah.
And then it's like, guys, I'm placing my stars. It's like, it's too late. The round's already lost. You've lost the site completely. Or you're having those scenarios, again, what I said earlier, where he's placing the stars early. They've avoided them completely. Well, we have to wait 25 seconds for a retake. Well, I'll tell you, that leaves you with very little time left on the clock.
Yeah, and you know, one thing I just realized now, that triple kill that Buzz had when they were diving out of heaven, very rare to see a triple waterfall out of heaven like that.
No.
That is a desperation play to get back into the site, try to overwhelm
Especially
them.
without, like, some sort of smoke or something.
Yeah, flash going out, you know, a
anything.
sky flash up in the air, then you go, sure, but leaving short open like that, allowing Buzz to sit there and have that off angle, it's a mistake that shouldn't be happening, and ZETA are definitely feeling the brunt of that. Now, for them, they have this pause to sit back and think, but again, it comes back to the fact that they're on the defensive side. They often do not get to decide how quick a round is, because if they push, as we've seen again and again, DRX will play the default, they'll hold for that aggression, and then they'll decide in what seems to be a coin flip that's constantly landing on A to go towards the site and blitz in. And even
got a
when ZETA
triple-sided coin.
yeah, right? Even when ZETA have the right read, it's still not enough. It's a really, really tough situation. Technically,
If it lands like sideways in the middle, then you go C.
well, that's C by the looks of it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, triple-sided coin, that's every coin, so well done, Tom.
Yeah, but there's one that's not really a
Unlucky.
side.
Well, you know, it depends if you want to look at geometry, physics, you know, facts. It is a side, technically. It's just not one it's likely to land on. I think it's like 1 in 10,000 flips. Fun. Yeah, let us know. I'm sure someone at home has that tidbit of
I was
information.
about to say, like,
or
did
Google.
you just say a random number?
I think it is like it's something like 10,000, but maybe I'm completely. Maybe it's like 1 in 5. You got coin?
No.
And just keep flipping it. If the tech pause keeps going, we'll get to 10K.
Oh no.
See if we get it on the side. That's how we'll know.
But yeah, I think that I agree in the fact that I would have liked to see ZETA actually start one of these maps, at least on the attack, because that's some of the stuff I've actually enjoyed from them. I think they have a lot of cool set plays that do actually revolve around their Astra play, where you've almost got these like little pieces of pulling players into spots where you then have a nanoswarm and you have something else to just make it awkward for them, and that revolves around you setting the pace. So you're choosing where you're going, and then it's up to DRX to play the retake or challenge you or fight for you, but you're basically forcing them to do something. In this scenario, you are basically waiting for DRX to make their move. And the thing that we've noted so far is that they have been fantastic at whatever move they've made. Even rounds that have come close, there's been someone there to clutch them out, and well, that makes them a devastating team to play.
Well, you know what, Tom? They found the USB slot. We're ready to jump back on into the game. Could be USB-C, you never know. The technology these days. Got a little operator push coming out of depth, and there's the opening, and it's Buzz taken down. Huge player to take down early round, but the spike's on A.
Damn.
Wow.
That's unusual. I guess they've gone for the full-on retake, maybe expecting that Laz could be getting closer to that lockdown again, although we saw how valuable that was the last time it was actually used. And, well, the retakes so far on this map have achieved very, very little, almost hoping for a little bit of luck with the spam through, and now trying to set back up into the site.
No, you're not going to push that. No, you're not. Blinds in. They're still holding that Rolling Thunder, waiting for these players to make some noise, start to move forward. Here's the Rolling Thunder. Now they know that they're close, and that's where RB is going to follow up, but the operator gets him. He couldn't even have scoped. I don't know how he's gotten away with that. The stun comes through. Out goes one. Stacks though, he's caught in the open. Mako's there to save the day, spraying away. This is unbelievable. It seems like so many engagements I look at and I think, DRX, you're in trouble. You're in hot water here. And then someone comes out with like a triple or quadruple kill, finds them triple water falling out of heaven. I don't even know what's going on anymore. And you know the best thing? I reckon that Mako might just have had the best use.
Was this a no-scope? It has to have been a no-scope.
It had to have been, yeah. There you go. Jeez. Mako, I think, had the best use of Omen's ultimate that I've seen. He just used it. They used it early to aggress on C long, and then he ults back to A long when they've got the site. Like, he just uses it to rotate, and that ultimately is probably the best way you can use it. Fake info on one side of the map, go to the rest of your team. Although I will say, RB walking into A side alone with the spike scares me immensely.
Yeah. I feel like you have to have hit a level of confidence that there is no one there that...
Astronomical.
Yeah. You're just like, they're not going to stop me doing this. Either that or they've just spotted so much other information elsewhere that I don't know how they realistically could have done at that stage of the round.
I'll tell you what, man, it comes back to what Ball has said. The conditioning kings, DRX, have played. When they actually give you an indication of where they're going, this man dresses well.
He has
I am
so much style.
jealous. God damn, I believe that's XQQ.
Yes.
Wow. Coach is ZETA, and he certainly got a lot of words for the team right now.
I will say there's been a lot of stylish coaches when it comes to Valorant.
Yeah.
Like like you have the classic like team jersey. I'm waiting for Mini to come out in his pure white suit. Like, if anyone doesn't know, he's got that one ready.
Get the cane and the top hat and everything.
Monocle. He's got a monocle.
You have to.
That's what he wears in his spare time, but he just doesn't like to show it on the broadcast. He doesn't want to flex on us too much.
When I was a kid, my mom was getting married, and I wanted to dress like that. I was the best man. I wanted to have a top hat, a monocle, and a cane. I'm not kidding. They wouldn't let me have it. They said I'd look ridiculous, and I've never gotten over that.
Well, you know, the stylists are listening.
Yeah, well, listen, guys.
Getting it prepared.
We can try it. Now, please. I think I've grown out of that now.
You've grown?
Okay. All right, Tom. We're at 7-1, and look, ZETA, it ain't been going too well. I think you can all tell that, but it's 7. Oh, God. It's 7 in a row for DRX. The pistol was found by ZETA, and since then, there's been nothing to write home about.
This almost looks like Laz trying to put the world on his back. Like, he just ran down mid trying to fight them. It's like, I'll do it myself! And, yeah, no surprise, this early default has caught basically all of it. Dep. Well, I thought he'd at least get that one. 5 HP, but not going to be happening. And 8-1, DRX utterly dominant. As said, like, obviously it depends what side of things you're on. If you're a Japanese fan, you're devastated. If you're DRX, this is great, though, because I think even if this game was close, then going up against some of the Titans we have in the tournament, they probably wouldn't have competed. The fact that they're dominating makes this look good for them later in the tournament. Like, okay, they can slaughter some of the teams that we don't expect to be near the top of that board. It means they're likely to do well versus the rest.
In all the predictions, people of DRX topping out the group. Now, I'm sure there's some EMEA bias out there, but even I had to say that DRX, coming into this event, they look better than Fnatic on the basis that they have 5 players. So realistically...
Just wait for the hibernator. That's all I'm saying.
Listen. You think I'm rooting against Fearoth by choice? But the reality is, DRX, you know, we've heard that they're coming in on better form than ever. A lot of people have them top in the group and going through easily to playoffs and so on. If that's going to be a reality, this is the performance we need. Because, yeah, if they struggle up against ZETA, I don't think that they're going to do well against the...
How did he not get killed? And 10's fallen as well. They had an aggressive 3-man stack into A. Wow. RB dashed into his crosshair and had enough time to still kill him.
ZETA just don't know what's going on the DRX side, and I think we saw in the previous round they tried the aggression with pistols for information gain. They want to figure out how are they playing in those first couple, like in the first minute or so, and they realize, okay, these guys are stacking, but there were a lot of players outside of mid, so maybe we push a B this time and can catch them off guard, thinking that they give up that control and fight for it later maybe, but they walk straight into them, get destroyed, miss a lot of the shots. We had a headshot on Buzz and Mako, but it was through the wall, so it didn't quite matter, and it's really, I feel like ZETA, they're struggling to adapt. They're certainly a little bit slower to adapt than what we've seen from DRX, but you just cannot have this ability for DRX to whitewash the site. They are just coming in and destroying it, and they make it look effortless.
Yeah, basically. And there hasn't been a lot of utility stopping them. A lot of this time, the A site has just been where aggression is attempted. And you can see now they're just trying to kill off these remaining players. Laz, at least, looking like he's going to get to keep his life, but at 9-1, it's almost irrelevant.
Yeah, we talked earlier, actually, we ended up moving on from it, but DRX, when they play that slow round, right, as soon as they give you the idea that they're moving towards the site...
I don't want to see that again. He dashed into the Hunter's Fury.
And RB still got him. Hunter's Fury didn't even get to kill him. Yeah.
The Hunter's Fury then killed 10, who was behind.
Yep. It was another pulse of it that got him running back.
Yep.
It's, really, everything's working out for DRX. It's like, you know, sometimes you just throw it at the wall and see what sticks, and for DRX, just nothing's falling off, man. Every attempt they have, they lost the pistol, they force bought, and then wasn't it flawless? Second round?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
You just can't have that. And it's been A rushes again and again and again that work out for them, but they're content in playing these super slow rounds. And the reality is they haven't faced any sort of a problem, really. When ZETA push, they catch them on the pushes. When they wait for last minute and rush into them, they still manage to win and seize the space and take the duels.
I also don't think they're really showing any of their playbook for other teams. Like, they're just holding a default for the majority of rounds. Sure, they'll pick up the pace a little bit every once in a while. Now, this is a change I was actually thinking of. Is like, okay, Laz Laz has actually still been able to do some damage. What can he do on the other side? Again, we're going to see this lockdown pushed into play to basically just remove all of those aggressive positions. Like, cut out anybody that can be pushing. Krothos actually managed to kill Zest. Was he in a drone? That's the only thing I can think of. He must have been in a drone or something that he's managed to go down to the aftershock. And, well, Laz has managed to at least hold the site for a second, but the trade's coming again.
He's still alive. I mean, this is once again just unbelievable. Buzz is able to find another, and then the turret goes down. They know there's a player up close. Now, Buzz is probably going down to that, sure. But in the meantime, Mako seizes control, takes down Sugar Zero, and it's left onto 10 yet again. No flash to play with here, no utility whatsoever. He has to win this off aim duels. He's got Mako and RB on the other side, too. Absolutely huge players to take down, and a spike to defuse. That time is certainly not on his side. We need these shots to connect so quickly, and it's Mako to close that one 10-1. DRX just effortlessly breezing through this half.
It really is just showing the confidence of their own take that they are basically using their lockdown. Oh, yeah, I think he was in the drone. Just using his lockdown to... yeah. Oh, thank you for that replay. That's wonderful. But yeah, just using the lockdown to just clear out the aggressive positions. They're like, okay, you can't hold the site. Yep. So we're just going to clear this now so that you basically have to fall back and then we'll just kill you.
Yep. You want to play a shorty up close, a judge, anything like that? A low buy? No, not a chance. Double operator setup for DRX. Of course, it's the last round, so they've got plenty to back them up. Blade Storms have plenty. Rifles on the floor to pick back up. And while a Blade Storm from depth doesn't land, a stun is good. Flash return to try and deter any further aggression. But it looks like DRX still want to fight for this. You know, these guys, they'll give up control for a second or two, but they'll fight you for it afterwards. And if ZETA keep on pushing forward, as we've seen the patience of DRX in the past, then they're going to run right into this operator. Ooh. Looks like DRX want to take the space back already.
Yeah, they've done an incredible job at it. This aggressive position might be something that puts a spanner in the works, but there needs to be a clear. The flash is going to give them information. Doesn't actually catch that close player, and it's whether or not they get itchy feet. The stun is so perfect, and even while dancing, does RB not take? I don't think it took a point of damage. Instead, there will be the Rolling Thunder to at least, well, stun them up a little bit as they look to come through. RB has still managed to find the kills. He still found the
stunned up, running through smokes. Doesn't matter.
He did
not for this guy.
I don't think. Oh dear.
Little ace needed for Laz. You know, they only round they won. He got 4 kills. There's 2 already. Shock dart right on him, though. Oh, another coming through.
God, just pop the lockdown. Why not?
Well, you got to now, don't you? Like 10 seconds. That'll push them back to long. But you can't try to stick this with 20 HP.
And look at their after plan. They weren't even playing this after plan. They waited for him to use the lockdown and then had it as a backup plan. This whole half from DRX has been absolutely grotesque. And it looks like they've come into this and gone, ZETA, we know exactly what you're going to do. We know exactly when you're going to do it. And we have picked this apart piece by piece. This was a decimation.
Yeah, this certainly hasn't been the start that ZETA wanted, kicking off their international performance for the year. Let's throw things down to the analyst desk and see what they make of their chances.
Thank you very much. Guys, I'm glad Tom said it there. Decimation, I think that's a very good word to sum this up.
Domination, destruction, literally so many disgusting words to go after that. Yeah, I mean, that was beautiful. I mean, specifically Buzz in a couple of those early rounds was a monster when they fell out of heaven. Getting the spray down where he's playing post plan again, by the way, on Haven, which is not something we've seen in months and months and months of VALORANT.
Yeah, completely. And DRX, I felt like we were looking at G2 on Icebox because they just kept going A and A and A. So the problem is that they had so many ultimates to just escalate round after round. Okay, Stas has his Rolling Thunder. Let's just go. Just play for post plan. Oh, I have the lockdown. And even when they thought that they were becoming too predictable, they were like, let's touch a little bit of what's going on to C. And even though ZETA gets the first kill, they give them the mixed information of, oh, they actually swapping things. They're actually going to come for C now. And no,
yeah, that's
it's
what
A
I'm talking
again.
about. They literally have no information about where to go. And yeah, Buzz is the guy.
I want to know why he's cracking up.
Because
what's happening?
He's not even playing Jet. He's not even playing a Jet. He's playing Killjoy. We just saw it. And this is why you see these the reason for the swap. And actually how much time he's put into this agent and into this role. Because we just saw him play on Icebox. Yeah, he was fine, but he wasn't the star player in that map. Now he moves to the role that he's actually been playing for the last couple of months. And it's nasty.
And we can literally say the same for RB. He was like, yeah, I was on the stage, I was playing supportive, now I'm on the jet, okay? So I'm just gonna dash in and I'm just gonna keep going. The same combo. Stacks enabling everybody. Just go in, dash smoke, and just press W onto them.
I mean, when they lost King, I think everybody was a little bit confused, but now I feel like it doesn't even feel like they're missing him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was big shoes to fill, but I think he's doing a great job. He's also not scared, you know, to go the extra mile.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they can do in this half, or if ZETA can indeed, Tom and Mitch, make that comeback.
Well, I don't want to say we've seen stranger things because, well, I've seen the show, but I've not seen anything stranger than a comeback like this. 11-1 down, going on the attack side at least, but that didn't really help when it came to Icebox.
No.
And the only round they've got so far is the pistol. For ZETA, they've got to be feeling down in the dumps.
11 rounds in a row.
Not great.
Oh dear. Well, it's a fast take at least. They're going to get themselves in on towards that B site, and there's a fast push coming in behind, although there is utility to at least give them that information and deny them a little bit of extra space. So the info will be there for ZETA.
I mean, DRX are taking this one nice and slow, thanks to the flank that they've got coming through, but it's being caught by ZETA. Spotted, I should say, not quite caught, because DRX are running free, taking every single kill as Crow is left alone. Headshots connected, but not enough. He needed a 4K to get away with that one. A familiar story for ZETA. As they go down 12-1, well, this really is a nightmare for the Japanese team.
Yeah, they cleared out all of the afterpart utility as well when they went around the back. So you had Laz and Sugar Zero as the two players hiding in the flank, and they both got killed at the beginning while running around behind. Oh. So it's like you don't have the gravity well anymore. You don't have any of the nanoswarms, nothing. So it made it much easier, and the rest of the players had to fight because you don't have anything to stop them anymore. So yeah, very, very good round again from them. No one's really surprised at this stage. And guess what? ZETA are going to force.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, Tom. Wouldn't be much point in playing the eco here. Rolling on into what could be the last round. 12-11 down. They've lost 12 in a row. Let's see if it can be the lucky number 13. ZETA wanting to move in through Garage, and the stun is on point. They return their own, but there's a nanoswarm on the floor. Oh, no!
Oh, thank God. He hit the last one, it's fine. Moving on.
All okay.
And Sugar Zero's got another. It might be that redemption story beginning, Mitch.
Oh, let's
as they have got
so.
themselves a 3v2, but RB and Zest still got a trusty Bulldog in play. Been spotted at least. The information is there. The flank, however, has not been seen just yet, and Laz is actually low.
Last player standing.
This is a little bit better at least. Sugar Zero will take just the one shot to the body, but Crow's got a little bit more to work with. That shorty is in his hand, RB. What are you doing? He's managed to go. Oh my God, RB!
Oh no.
If he got both there, I would have walked down and thrown him off the stage myself. That is unreasonable. 12-2. Another round for ZETA as they double up, but still a long way to go.
I was going to say I would have walked out, but I actually would have done because the game
would have been over. Yeah.
Oh dear. The thing is, they won themselves the force fight. That's at least something. A couple of kills coming up for Sugar Zero, some clean shots off the back of the pistol. Still became way too close for Comfort in the end, but it's something. It's at least going to give them a position. And the other thing as well is they're now going to fully invest back into this one. On the other side of things, the DRX literally have nothing other than the piece of utility, but for the most part, you're not going to want to use those.
And they're going to try a familiar strategy. That's C-long push, run down, try to catch a few of these players off guard, but ZETA have taken a leaf out of DRX's playbook, taking it nice and slow, holding the default for the aggression. And that has yielded them a third round by the looks of things. Stacks the final man standing. It doesn't look like he has all too much opportunity. In fact, they've even heard him. Laz just caught that sound cue.
Spike planted.
Well, just going on around the world, they definitely know where he is. So the subtlety of his rotation it is not quite subtle as maybe he thought. So it will be a third round on the board for ZETA. Of course, the reason that was such a hard eco from DRX is because they're now going to come back in with a purchase. And they've already got themselves a lockdown onto Buzz. RB actually not far away from getting a Blaze Storm. And well, the fact these guys operate, it means that unless he whiffs, he probably will have his Blaze Storm at some point in the round. So again, ults on the other side, Rolling Thunder. I will say, Crow has hit a lot of people with his Rolling Thunder. I feel like the success of it has almost been 0 because every time RB still kills them, even though he's stunned.
Sorry, 10, why do you have a Spectre? 10? 10. 10. It's 12-3? 10? 10, are you trolling, bro? What's going on here? We're going to have a Blade Storm soon or never. Okay, well, I'm just going to ignore that one. I suppose I'm not. Just spent a while on it.
No.
12-3. DRX, they've got a full buy. I got the operator. As you said, Blade Storm will be online maybe next round for RB if he needs a bit of money. Maybe this one if he needs a backup. And certainly with the confidence they've got in their back pocket, you would not be surprised to see them stepping it up. The attack side taking it very, very slowly. And these guys are... oh, okay, hold on. We've just had the turret smoked up here. But no movement afterwards from DRX. It almost looks like they're just playing with them, just toying around, using up that smoke to cause some paranoia and to use up some utility, because ZETA end up... right, they pop that flash to try and clear out mid, or they're thinking about burning even more utility to fight. In the end, though, it's going to be a straight C push up through long, and DRX are waiting for it. Stacks primed and ready. Great stun. It catches most of the players. Paranoia to stop them further aggressing. Flash through. It's all just slowing them down. But now look who's in position. They've already got Buzz just tucked up there, ready to take a fight.
25 seconds left on the clock as they will begin their execution. Again, though, they just look to almost swing into some of these duels as Mako has already managed to find a couple. It's the beginning of the end. 10 now, the last man standing. Got a Spectre, he ain't going to get anything done. DRX, they have just destroyed another D for Bala there.